days of spring practice going to be for this defensive side of the ball, getting the new coaches in, teaching them what you want?
You know, they're important. They're not the end of the world of importance. This will be, you know, the spoon feeding first time they get it, and anxiety and, you know, excitement is going to, you know, get the best of them the first couple days, and the kids will, you know, eventually it'll settle down for them. But it's good that we get to teach the defense to them. You know, that's a key word now, is teach. You know, we're teachers. You know, you got to be able to teach these players in that classroom, you know, when you're meeting with them, because it's not what you know, it's what they know, and we're going to be very guarded of that fact. It'll give these guys finally some evidence, you know, that this is a good package. It's a good defense for them to play in. It is player friendly, because if you can run, you can make plays in this defense. Sort of big men running, little men hitting. You know, the big dudes up front. It's a defense of attrition, as I'm learning it, taking away, you know, what the offense is doing. But these kids are going to learn fundamentals. You know, Coach Stoops and I believe it are going to learn fundamentals, and how to get in a stance and bend their knees and take on a block and run to the ball and tackle. Don't give up the big play. Stop the run. As much as they have to learn scheme. So we'll be drinking water with a fire hose for a little bit, but, you know, eventually it'll slow down.
What are your recollections of the game of the century, '93?
Maybe the most enjoyable game I've ever been in, because we had a bye, so it was a 2-week build-up, and just the whole hype of how, you know, Charlie Ward had really come into his own, and that offense was changing the game. We were watching the change of football right in front of our eyes a little bit, and then that sort of coming in against the old guard in history and tradition in Notre Dame was a perfect matchup at the time. I think NBC did a great job of just hyping it, and I remember them getting off the bus with the green hats on, you know, and that was a little motivating factor. I can just the way the players went out there, the perception you had of the Florida State players a little bit when you're at Notre Dame, you know, just, you know, talking junk and all that, you know, it was not that. You know, if you go back and watch the film and being down there on the sideline, it was as, you know, there was some junk talking before the game, but when that ball was snapped, it was, you know, it was two gladiators going at it. And it was awesome. It was awesome. It was wild till the end. It was a great football game. I still have it saved, and I watch it every now and then. Absolutely.
Coach Derek Rhodes with the Palm Beach Post. How much do you feel, since you guys have gotten here, that the players' energy is feeding off of your energy and the new coach's energy?
You know, I think once we get involved in drills and more football stuff, when the ball's out there, I think you'll be able to gauge that a little bit more. The fourth quarter drills have shown them that we're going to do things, you know, that are football oriented, and I think that's brought a level of excitement to them. You know, the guys you can see them getting better physically, and I think that's been rewarding, you know, for their mindset. The energy of the coaches, both from Vic and Joe down in the weight room, you know, they're getting after it. And then when we get out there on the grass and get to coach them, you know, it's at a high tempo, and they're, you know, everybody's constantly moving. I think the kids, you know, see that it's going to be high tempo, and, you know, just not getting, you know, berated or drilled, or, you know, you're being coached up, and, you know, it's not fake enthusiasm, but it's, you know, it's for a purpose. It's an emotional game. I mean, you know, you got to be jacked up to play it, and you have to. It's barbaric. You know, you go out there, and you better be jacked up at this level, or you're going to get crushed.
Chris Nee from War Chant. Can you talk about the first month of recruiting here, when you got here in January up till signing day, what that was like for you?
That was accelerated. It was exactly what I thought, because I know how enthusiastic and organized Coach Fisher is about recruiting. It's the pulse of your program to keep you filled up with talent. And I mean, I'm telling you now, I hit the ground running, and it was. I thought I was flying into Tallahassee. You know, when I was coming in the night before, I got a call and said, "You're flying to Orlando." I said, "You know how many bags I have?" and so my first trip, I was hauling, you know, 2 giant bags and a shoulder bag around with Coach Trickett, you know, going to see players. And then the recruiting weekend, and it just went every day nonstop, you know, from dusk to dawn. It was 24/7. It was awesome, you know. It's fun when you're recruiting great players. Not good ones, great ones. That's fun. It's even fun to watch film. You don't know what you're going to see next. You know, certain levels of college football, you get, you know, you're always saying no. You know, because you're seeing, you know, so many guys that are not good enough. And here, it's tough to recruit here because there's a lot of good football players, and you only have so many spots. You know, so you have to, you know, make the right selection. You know, it's not as easy as people think. There's a lot of good football players around here, a lot.
Was there a bigger difference than you came in thinking that in going into a living room from a Conference USA school and coming into a living room with the Florida State logo?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're going to get bumped to the front of the line now with that logo. You know, what's on the lapel is pretty important. You know, it wasn't important to me as much when I took the job to go to East Carolina. You know, I made that move professionally to get in this region of football. I wanted to coach in the South. You know, I'd been in the Big Ten and up north my whole life, and you know, I had to make that move. Coach Fisher advised me of it. You know, so the lapel wasn't a factor for me then. It was here. You know, you get tired of it not being, you know, having the big badge. But with it comes great responsibility, and it was what I expected. You know, even when you're walking in with, you know, a school I worked at before, you know, you still weren't at the front of the line. You know, we are the Joneses. You know, you know, I was tired of keeping up with them, to be honest with you.
Are you and Coach